Let's take a look at every Premier League club and their most exciting prospects. Arsenal, Reiss Nelson. The way Arsenal fans have been going on about Reiss Nelson, you'd swear they were sitting on the next George Best. Ever since he scored 11 goals in as many games with the England under-17 side 3 years ago, everyone at that club has effectively been screaming from the rooftops how this kid is the second coming of Christ. To be fair, the 19-year-old is a promising winger. He's spending this season out on loan in Germany with Hoffenheim, where he's already scored 6 goals. But just tread carefully, Arsenal fans. For 10 years we heard that Jack Wilshere was going to win a Ballon d'Or. Now he's spending his late 20s stuffed in a wheelchair and given a season ticket away. West Ham. Bournemouth, Sam Surridge. Okay, I won't lie to you. Bournemouth don't really have any up-and-coming talented youngsters that I can see. I won't count Dominic Solanke because, I'm sorry, £19 million for a man with 1 goal in 21 games? Good lord. Surridge is on loan at Oldham, where the striker is 8 in 15 games. Not bad, but it is League 2. Brighton, Aaron Connolly. To be honest, I'm just going with this fella out of pure hope. Aaron Connolly is an 18-year-old forward who scored 8 goals in 13 games at underage level for Ireland, which no doubt means that once he scores 2 in 1 game for Brighton, the lad will start rooting around the sock drawer for British passport. Burnley, Dwight McNeil. 19-year-old midfielder, the former Man United product, has already scored his first goal for the club in a 2-0 win over West Ham the other week. Not bad for someone who's trying to break into a team whose confidence fell through the toilet about 6 months ago. Cardiff, Mark Harris. Remember the name Mark Harris for when the striker gets inevitably released in 2 years and ends up joining Crewe Alexandra on a 3-year deal. Chelsea, Callum Hudson-Odoi. When Roman Abramovich took over Chelsea all those years ago, Callum Hudson-Odoi was 2 years old. 2 years old! This kid was just a dot in his father's ball sack when Bayern Munich threw away the Champions League final against Man United. And yeah, here he is, apparently being worth £35 million, with the Germans desperately trying to tear him away from West London. He looks like the next Wilfred Zaha. Strong, skillful, and impossible to drag off the ball. Crystal Palace, Aaron WAN-BISSAKA. Okay, to be honest, Aaron WAN-BISSAKA is 21 years old and his 31st team appearances for Crystal Palace to his name, so he's an effective granddad compared to some of these. But still, the former Congo under-20 international looks a promising defender and will be sure to get a big move sooner or later. Everton, Ademola Lookman. Again, Ademola Lookman is going to turn 22 in October, so I'm not sure if I can really include him here. Whatever. We all remember him breaking onto the scene with a goal in a 4-0 win over Man City in January 2017. Fulham, Ryan Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon has played over 100 first-team games for Fulham and has scored 25 goals. And the kid is still only 18. While most teenagers spend their youth downing tins of Fosters in a ditch, this fellow is out terrorising defenders across the championship. Left back or left winger, let's just say this is resembling Gareth Bale's early days. Huddersfield Town, Philip Billing. I know the man is 22, he's not a youngster, he's pretty much in his prime, but things are so bad at Huddersfield these days, there's pretty much no one else I could put in realistically. Let's be honest, Billing is probably their only good player. Hence the reason they're bottom of the league. This man, who was ruled out for most of last season with an injury, is a talented midfielder and don't be surprised if he's off at the end of the season. Actually, don't be surprised if he's off this month. Leicester City, Hamza Choudhury. Hamza Choudhury has been at Leicester since 2011, so basically this kid has seen it all. He's a larger-than-life midfielder with a haircut that would make Fellaini weak at the knees, and he made his Premier League debut in November 2017. Liverpool, Ki-Jana Hoever. I'm sorry, Ki-Jana Hoever was born in 2002. What? He was 3 years old when Liverpool last won the Champions League. He was 12 when Stevie G slipped. This is just too much. Anyway, Hoever, obviously no relation to Lisa Simpson's clearly sexually frustrated teacher, is a 16-year-old Dutch fullback who just made his debut in the FA Cup against Wolves the other day. But obviously don't expect him to hit his peak until the 2030-31 campaign. By God, I'm old. Man City, Phil Foden. Man City's conveyor belt of talented excellence is unbelievable. Brahim Diaz looks like another potential superstar to have slipped through the cracks. Phil Foden is adamant that he's going nowhere though. Wonder how he'll feel in a year when all his youth team colleagues are winning titles on the continent and he's stuck under a coat on the bench every week. The 18-year-old is a World Cup winner, under 17s, I mean, for Christ's sake, Freddie Woodman was in the goddamn team. But if he doesn't turn out like Michael Johnson, keeps his head down, who knows? Man United, Tahith Chong. A star at the academy, Tahith Chong has been chucked on the bench a couple of times this season, but also made his debut against Reading in the FA Cup last week. The 19-year-old, another human on this list not to exist the last time Man United won the treble. For Christ's sake, this fellow was 13 the last time this club won the damn league, is a Dutch right winger snapped up from Feyenoord 3 years ago. Get a haircut. Newcastle, ELIAS Sorensen. At the moment, Newcastle fans are screaming at the club to give ELIAS Sorensen a chance because nothing on God's green earth could be worse than sticking Hoslo up front, a man who seems to have the first touch of a dead hippo. Sorensen is a 19-year-old Danish striker who scored 19 goals for their 23s last season. Southampton, Michael OBAFEMI. I hope Michael OBAFEMI turns out good, I really do. The signs weren't promising in his youth career, considering he tumbled down the football ladder from Chelsea to Arsenal, Watford and then Leyton Orient, with his brittle teenage confidence no doubt crashing off the rocks at every rejection. But having ended up at Southampton, and things have improved for the 18-year-old Dubliner, with the striker becoming the club's youngest goal scorer last month. OBAFEMI, please don't turn out like Shane Long or Simon Cox. We really need a striker. I don't think I can deal with giving David McGoldrick any more call-ups. Spurs Oliver Skipp. Born in September 2000, good lord, Oliver Skipp is being bled into the Tottenham first team. The midfielder made his first Premier League start against Burnley last month. He is in good hands. Watford, Ben Wilmot. Snapped up from Stevenage in 2018, Ben Wilmot is supposed to be a promising enough fullback for Watford. West Ham, Declan Rice. Lads, Declan Rice is younger than Reece Oxford. That seems mental considering the world nearly stood still when the almost human fetus that was Oxford marked Ozil out of a game a few years back, before no doubt getting lost in the fame of it all and disappearing forever. Rice, on the other hand, is a man who is treating his nationality like he's at a goddamn pick and mix. No, Rice, surely by now you know whether you want to play for Ireland or not. You've had about 6 months, for Christ's sake. He will be a top player, but as we all know, Ireland aren't allowed nice things. Why do you think Paul McShane has 30 odd caps? Wolves, Ryan Giles. Look out for Ryan Giles, an up and coming 18-year-old wing back at Wolves. The only thing that counts against him is that kid isn't Portuguese.